In this problem, we have to solve cos inverse of cos 7 pi by 6. Okay. Now you already know that cos inverse of cos theta will open up in theta if and only if theta belongs to PVB of cos inverse. Okay. It means theta should belongs to close interval 0 to pi. But 7 pi by 6 is not in the principal value branch. It is greater than pi. So the answer cannot be 7 pi by 6. You have to simplify it. This cannot be the answer, obviously. Okay, so we can write cos inverse of cos of 7 pi by 6 can be written as pi plus pi by 6. Okay, now cos of pi plus pi by 6 is in third quadrant, so it will be cos inverse of cos of pi plus pi by 6 is in third quadrant, so it will be minus of cos pi by 6. Okay, so now you can write this as minus pi minus cos inverse of cos pi by 6. Now pi by 6 is in principal value branch, so the value will be pi minus pi by 6 and the answer will be 5 pi by 6. Okay, this is one way. The second way you can do is cos of pi plus pi by 6 will give us minus cos pi by 6. Now you can write the value of this. So this will be cos inverse of cos pi by 6 is cos 30. Cos 30 will be minus root 3 by 2. Now to calculate cos inverse of minus root 3 by 2, you will write pi minus cos inverse of root 3 by 2. Now you already know that cos inverse of root 3 by 2 is pi minus pi by 6 only, because cos 30 is sin 60, which is root 3 by 2. Okay, so the answer will be 5 pi by 6. So the answer for this problem will be option B. In this problem, you have to solve sine of sine inverse half plus cos inverse half. First method is you can write sine inverse half as pi by 6, because sine 30 is half. Okay, cos inverse of half will be pi by 3. So it will be sine of pi by 2, because 30 plus 60 will give us 90, which is sine pi by 2, and the output is 1. The second way is we know the formula that sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2 for all x belonging to closed interval minus 1 to 1. So for a particular value of x, sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2. So we can directly say that because sine inverse half plus cos inverse half have same value of x, so sine inverse half plus cos inverse half will be equal to pi by 2. The answer will be 1. So very easy problem. So answer for this problem will be option D. In this problem, we have to convert sine inverse 2 by 5 in terms of cos inverse, tan inverse and cosecant inverse and check which of the values are true. Okay. So if you see sine inverse 2 by 5, so let's consider it as theta. Sine inverse of 2 by 5, let's consider it as theta, provided theta belongs to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 closed interval. Okay, because the range of sine inverse is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 closed interval. Now this implies that sine theta will be equal to 2 by 5, provided theta is following this condition. So if we consider this as theta in a triangle, this side will be, the perpendicular side will be 2 times and the hypotenuse side will be 5 times. So let's consider it as 2 and 5. So the base will be under root of 25 minus 4, which will be under root of 21. So if we say cos theta, or if we say sine inverse of 2 by 5 and we have to write in terms of cos, so this will be equal to cos inverse of under root of 21 divided by 5. And this can also be written as tan inverse of 2 divided by under root of 21. So cos inverse 3 by 5 is not the correct option. Tan inverse is also 2 by under root 21. It is not a correct option. Okay, but cosecant theta will be, cosecant theta will be equal to reciprocal of sine theta. So we can write it as 5 by 2. So theta will be cosecant inverse of 5 by 2. And hence C is the correct option for this problem. I hope it is clear. In this problem, we have to find the value of tan inverse 1 plus cos inverse minus half plus sine inverse minus half. Okay, so tan inverse of 1 plus cos inverse of minus half plus sine inverse of minus half. It's a easy problem. You already know that sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2. So this value will be equal to pi by 2. Tan inverse of 1 is pi by 4 already. So it's very easily we will get the answer as 3 pi by 4. Okay, if you take the LCM, so it will be 3 pi by 4. So the answer for this problem will be option C. Otherwise, you can also calculate the value of sine inverse minus half, which is minus pi by 6. Cos inverse of minus half is 2 pi by 3. From that also, if you take the sum of these two values, you will get pi by 2. Okay, pi by 2 plus pi by 4 will give 3 pi by 4. In this problem, we have to find the value of sine inverse x plus sine inverse 1 by x plus cos inverse x plus cos inverse 1 by x. So can we write this term as sine inverse x plus cos inverse x plus sine inverse 1 by x plus cos inverse 1 by x? Okay. So we already know that sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2. Similarly, sine inverse of 1 by x plus cos inverse of 1 by x will also give us pi by 2. Okay. So the answer for this problem will be pi. Okay. But the answer is A already. But there is one more catch in this problem, which is not required in solving this problem. But for your information, you should know this thing, that the sum is sine inverse x plus sine inverse 1 by x can be written as cosecant inverse x, okay, and cos inverse x plus secant inverse x. So if you see the domain of this expression or this function, you will get to know that sine inverse x has a domain of -1 to 1 closed interval, and cosecant inverse x has a domain of -infinity to -1 union 1 to infinity. So the overall function is defined only at two values, which are -1, 1. Because once you add two functions, you have to take the intersection of their domains to find the actual domain of the overall function. Because sine inverse x is defined from -1 to 1. Okay, so sine inverse x is defined at half, but cosecant inverse x is not defined at half. So both these functions are defined only at value x equal to -1 and x equal to 1 only, not inside the interval -1 to 1. Similarly, for cos inverse x has a domain of -1 to 1 closed interval, and secant inverse x has a domain of -infinity, -1 union 1 to infinity, 1 to infinity. Okay, so overall domain of this function will be x belongs to curly bracket -1, 1. Okay, and if you put the values of x here as 1 and -1, you will again get the answer as pi. So the answer for this problem is pi only. Problem, you have to find the value of cos inverse -1. So it's quite oral that you will consider it as theta, provided theta should belongs to closed interval 0 to pi. Okay, or you can directly write it if you know it. Then you can easily write cos theta is equal to -1, then theta will be equal to pi, because cos at odd pi gives the value -1. Okay, so cos of odd pi is -1, cos of even pi is 1. So it is -1, so you will have in 0 to pi there will only be one value, which is pi. Okay, secondly, you can also solve this problem as pi minus cos inverse of 1, using this property that cos inverse of -x is same as pi minus cos inverse x. Okay, so we already know that cos inverse of 1 is 0, so pi minus 0 will give us answer pi. So the answer for this problem is option C. In this problem, you have to find the value of tan inverse tan of 3 pi by 4. Now the answer cannot be 3 pi by 4, because principal value branch of tan inverse is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 open interval. Okay, so we have to simplify it. We can write this as tan inverse of tan of pi minus pi by 4, which is in second quadrant. So this value will be equal to tan inverse of minus tan pi by 4. Okay, so this value will be minus of tan inverse tan pi by 4. Okay, because tan inverse of minus x is minus tan inverse x. So now pi by 4 is in the principal value branch. So the answer will be minus pi by 4, which is option A. In this problem, sine inverse x plus sine inverse y is equal to 2 pi by 3 is given, and we have to find the value of cos inverse x plus cos inverse y. So we already know one formula, that sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2. Okay, so can I write sine inverse x in this particular equation as pi by 2 minus cos inverse x, and sine inverse y as pi by 2 minus cos inverse y, and this value will be equal to 2 pi by 3. Okay, so we have pi by 2 plus pi by 2 is pi minus cos inverse x plus cos inverse y is equal to 2 pi by 3. Okay, so finally we will have cos inverse x plus cos inverse y is equal to pi minus 2 pi by 3, which will give me the answer as pi by 3. Okay, so the answer for this problem will be pi by 3. Clear? In this problem, we have to evaluate sine of cos inverse 3 by 5. Okay, now we already know a property that sine of sine inverse x will be equal to x if x belongs to closed interval -1 to 1, which is the domain of sine inverse x. Okay, so this is a property. So if outside is sine, inside is cos inverse, so we will try to convert cos inverse into sine inverse, and we can do that with the help of a triangle. So if we consider this as theta, then cos theta will be equal to 3 by 5, which is base by hypotenuse. So this perpendicular side using Pythagoras theorem will come out to be 4, and we can write this term as sine inverse 4 by 5. Now sine will cancel sine inverse if 4 by 5 is in the domain. 4 by 5 is less than 1 already, so this value will be equal to 4 by 5. So the answer for this problem is option C. I hope it is clear. In this problem, we have to evaluate tan of 2 tan inverse 1 by 5 minus pi by 4. Okay, so I have already told you that tan inverse 1 by 5 is an angle. Inverse trigonometric functions always represent an angle. So let's consider tan inverse 1 by 5 as theta. Okay, so this term will become as tan of 2 theta minus pi by 4. So we have to calculate the value of tan of 2 theta minus pi by 4. Now we already know the formula of tan of A minus B. So tan A minus B is tan A minus tan B, which is 1 upon 1 plus tan A tan B. So tan 2 theta into 1. Okay, because tan pi by 4 is 1. Now we need to have the value of tan 2 theta. Now tan theta is 1 by 5. Okay, because tan inverse 1 by 5 is theta, so tan theta will be 1 by 5, considering that theta lies in minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 open interval. So if tan theta is 1 by 5, which will automatically come because theta is tan inverse 1 by 5. So range of this is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So automatically theta will be in minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 open interval. So tan theta is 1 by 5. Now tan 2 theta, how you can write tan 2 theta is 2 tan theta upon 1 minus tan square theta. So the value will be 2 into 1 by 5 divided by 1 minus 1 by 25. So this value will be 2 by 5. 25 minus 1 is 24. So this value will be 5 by 12. Okay. So we can write this term as 5 by 12 minus 1 upon 1 plus 5 by 12. So if you take LCM, you will get minus 7 by 17. So the answer for this problem will be option B. Okay. Minus 7 by 17. So the answer for this problem is option B. I hope it is clear. In this problem, it is given that if I is equal to 1 to 2n summation cos inverse xi is equal to 0, then we have to find the value of summation xi I equal to 1 to 2n. Okay, so if you open this summation, what you will get is cos inverse x1, because summation is on I, plus cos inverse x2 plus cos inverse of x3 plus so on to cos inverse of x2n is equal to 0. Okay. Now this is simply like the value of cos inverse x lies between 0 to pi. Okay. Similarly, this value is also lying between 0 to pi, and all these cos inverse terms will lie between 0 to pi. Now if I tell you like a square plus b square is equal to 0, now you already know that this a square is always greater than equal to 0 and b square is also always greater than equal to 0. So sum of these terms will be equal to 0 if and only if a square is equal to 0 and b square is equal to 0. So the minimum value of a square is 0 and minimum value of b square is 0. Okay, so these two terms on addition will give 0 if and only if a square is also 0 as well as b square is also 0, which implies a is 0 as well as b is 0. So I am just giving you an example. If suppose a function has a minimum value, say alpha, and the other function has a minimum value beta, so their sum will be alpha plus beta only if those two functions will take their minimum values alpha as well as beta respectively. Okay, similarly here cos inverse x1 has a minimum value 0, cos inverse x2 also has a minimum value 0, cos inverse x2n also has a minimum value 0. So sum of all these values will be 0 if and only if all these individual terms will take value as 0. So we can directly say that cos inverse of xi for all I belonging to close 1 to 2n, or say we will just say that for all I belonging to 1, 2, 3 so on to 2n, all these values cos inverse xi should be equal to 0. Then only the sum of all these terms will be equal to 0. So we can say that xi will be equal to 1 because cos 0 is 1. So all these xi's will be equal to 1. Now we have to calculate the summation of 1 from I equal to 1 to 2n. So this will be 1 plus 1 plus 1 so on to 2n times. So the answer for this problem will be 2n. So this 1 will come 2n times because the summation is 2n times from I equal to 1 to 2n. So the answer will be 2n. So which option it is? It is option B. Hence the answer of this problem is option B. In this problem, we have to find the value of cos inverse cos of minus 17 pi by 15. So can I write this term as cos inverse of cos of 17 pi by 15? Because cos of minus theta is same as cos of theta. Okay. Now this is already greater than pi, so it is not in the principal value branch. We'll try to convert it. So 17 pi by 15 can be written as pi plus 2 pi by 15. Okay. Now cos of pi plus theta is same as cos of pi plus theta is minus cos theta, so this will be minus cos 2 pi by 15. Okay, so now this can be written as cos inverse of minus cos 2 pi by 15 can be written as cos inverse of minus x using the formula cos inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse of x. So this can be written as pi minus cos inverse of cos 2 pi by 15. Okay, so this value will be pi minus 2 pi by 15. Okay, once you take the LCM, so that it will become 13 pi by 15. So the answer for this problem will be 13 pi by 15, which is option D. Okay. If sin inverse x plus sin inverse y plus sin inverse z is 3 pi by 2, then we have to find the value of this term x raised to the power 100 plus y raised to the power 100 plus z raised to the power 100 minus 9 divided by x raised to the power 101 plus y raised to the power 101 plus z raised to the power 101. It's quite an easy problem. Same like we can say that sin inverse x has a range from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 close intervals. Okay, so sin inverse x plus sin inverse y plus sin inverse z will be equal to 3 pi by 2 if and only if this term will be equal to pi by 2, this term will be equal to pi by 2 and this term will be equal to pi by 2. It's quite clear from this fact that sin inverse x has a maximum value of pi by 2. Similarly, sin inverse y has a maximum value of pi by 2. Sin inverse of z has a maximum value of pi by 2. So all these three terms when added together will give 3 pi by 2 only if all these three terms are equal to pi by 2. So it means we have x as 1 because you will be getting sin inverse x as pi by 2. So the value of x will be equal to sin pi by 2, which is 1. Similarly, y is equal to 1 and z is equal to 1. Now if you put the x equal to 1, y equal to 1, z equal to 1 in the required term, you will get 1 raised to the power 100 which is 1, y raised to the power 100 which is 1, z raised to the power which is 101 minus 9 divided by x raised to the power 101 is also 1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, so you will have answer 3 minus 9 divided by 3. So this will be 3 minus 3 equal to 0. So the answer for this problem will be 0, which is option A. I hope it is clear. In this problem, we have to find the principal value of cos inverse cos 2 pi by 3 plus sin inverse sin 2 pi by 3. Principal value or the value both will be same in this case because we will be solving cos inverse cos 2 pi by 3 plus sin inverse sin 2 pi by 3 in their principal value branches only. Okay. So we already know this thing that cos inverse cos 2 pi by 3, because 2 pi by 3 lies in 0 to pi, so the output of this term will be 2 pi by 3 only. Cos inverse of cos theta open up in theta if theta is in PVB. Okay. Now sin inverse of sin 2 pi by 3. Now 2 pi by 3 is not in the principal value branch of sin inverse, so we have to simplify it. We can write this as sin inverse of sin of pi minus pi by 3. Okay. Sin of pi minus theta is sin theta only. So sin inverse of sin pi by 3. Now it is in PVB, so this will open up in pi by 3. So sum of these two terms will be 2 pi by 3 plus pi by 3, which will give us pi. So the answer of this problem is option A, which is pi units. Okay. In this problem, we have to simplify this summation. The summation is given I1 to 20 sin inverse of xi is equal to 10 pi, and then we have to find the value of summation xi I1 to 20. Okay. So we can write this term as sin inverse of x1 plus sin inverse of x2 so on to sin inverse x19 plus sin inverse x20. Okay. So this term is equal to 10 pi. Now we already know that every sin inverse x term will lie between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 close interval. So sum of these all terms will be 10 pi in only one case, when each individual term will take its maximum value. Okay, if each individual term won't take its maximum value, the sum cannot be 10 pi. Are you clear on this point? Because each term has maximum value pi by 2. Now 20 times pi by 2 will give us 10 pi. So when each value will be equal to pi by 2, the sum will be 10 pi. It means sine inverse xi is equal to pi by 2, and this implies all xi will be equal to sine pi by 2, which is 1. Okay, now we have to find the value of I1 to 20 xi, which is same as summation of I1 to 21. So it means 1 plus 1 plus 1, you have to write it 20 times. So the answer for this problem will be 20. I hope it is clear. So the option A is the correct answer. If alpha and beta are roots of this equation, then we have to find cos inverse alpha, cos inverse beta are real, or cosecant inverse alpha or cosecant inverse beta are real, or cot inverse alpha and cot inverse beta are real. Okay, we have to find out from these three options, or if all these three options won't satisfy, then none of these will be the answer of this problem. Okay, so let's first try to find out alpha and beta. We can write this term as 6 into 3 is 18, so you can write it as 2 into 9, so it will be 2x plus 9x plus 3 equal to 0. Okay, so you will have 2x plus 3 times of 3x plus 1. Okay, is this clear? You can take 2x common from this term, and 3x plus 1 will be balanced, and from here you can take 3 common. So we have x as minus 3 by 2 and x as minus 1 by 3, because this value is minus 1.5 and this value is minus 1 by 3, which is minus 0.33. So for, let's take alpha as this term. Alpha is our first root, which is minus 1.5, and beta is our second root, which is minus 0.333, and so on. Okay, so cos inverse alpha won't be defined, so hence first option is not the correct answer. Cosecant inverse beta won't be defined, because cosecant inverse has domain minus infinity to minus 1 union 1 to infinity. Okay, so this won't be defined also for cosecant inverse beta. Cot inverse alpha, cot inverse beta has, cot inverse x has domain, cot inverse x has domain, x belongs to R. So for, because both these values are real, and hence third will be the correct option. Cot inverse alpha and cot inverse beta will be defined and real, and hence the answer for this problem is option C. In this problem we have to find the value of this term. Now we just write each term individually, then we'll put the values. Okay, so cos inverse of minus half is pi minus cos inverse half. You can write this as pi minus cos 60 is half, so pi by 3, this value will be equal to 2 pi by 3. Okay, now sine inverse of half is 30 degree, which will be pi by 6. Now cos inverse of minus 1 by root 2 will be pi minus cos inverse 1 by root 2, because cos inverse of minus x has formula pi minus cos inverse x. Cos inverse of minus x has formula pi minus cos inverse x. So cos inverse of 1 by root 2 will be pi minus pi by 4, which will be 3 pi by 4. And tan inverse of minus 1 will be minus of tan inverse 1, which will give us minus pi by 4. Let's try to put the values and calculate. So cos inverse of minus half will be 2 pi by 3. Minus 2 times of sine inverse half is pi by 6, plus 3 times of 3 pi by 4, minus 4 times of tan inverse of minus 1 is minus pi by 4. So we have to now simplify this term. So we will have 2 pi by 3 minus pi by 3 plus 9 pi by 4 plus pi. Is this clear? So this term is equivalent to 2 pi by 3 minus pi by 3 is pi by 3. So pi by 3 plus 13 pi by 4. So once you take LCM, you will have 12 here, 4 pi plus 39 pi. So this term will be 43 pi by 12. Okay, so the answer for this problem will be 43 pi by 12, which is option C. If sine inverse x plus sine inverse y is pi and x is equal to ky, then we have to find the value of 39 raised to the power 2k plus 5 raised to the power k. First you just need to find the value of k. For that we can write this as sine inverse x plus sine inverse of y is equal to pi. It means sine inverse x has a range from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 close interval. Sine inverse y also has a range from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 close interval. Now this will be equal to pi only if sine inverse x is equal to pi by 2. and simultaneously sin inverse y is equal to pi by 2. In only this case, the sum of these two terms will be pi, because sin inverse x has maximum value pi by 2 and sin inverse y also has maximum value pi by 2. Okay, it means x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1. So once you put in x is equal to ky, x1 and y1, we will have the value of k as 1. So now we have to find the value of 39 raised to the power 2k plus 5 raised to the power k. So 39 raised to the power 2 plus 5 raised to the power 1. 39 raised to the power 2 can be easily calculated as 40 minus 1 raised to the power 2 plus 5 raised to the power 1. So this term will be 1600 minus 80 plus 1 plus 5. So this term will be 1520. 1521 plus 5. So the answer for this problem will be 1526. Okay. So the answer is option B. I hope it is clear. In this problem, we have to find the value of secant square tan inverse 2 plus cosecant square cot inverse 3. Okay. So secant square tan inverse 2 plus cosecant square cot inverse 3. We have to evaluate this term. Can I write this term as 1 plus tan square tan inverse 2? Because secant square theta is equal to 1 plus tan square theta. We already know this thing. And cosecant square theta is equivalent to 1 plus cot square theta. So we can write this as 1 plus cot square cot inverse of 3. Okay. Now we already know the property that if tan is outside and tan inverse is inside, so tan of tan inverse theta will be equal to theta. Similarly, cot of cot inverse of theta is equals to theta. So accordingly, if we use this term, tan of tan inverse 2 will give us 2, whole square is already there. This will be 3, whole square is already there. So 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 9. So the answer will be 10 plus 5 is 15. So the answer for this problem is 15. I hope it is clear. Very easy problem. In this problem, we have to find the value of sin inverse of minus root 3 by 2 plus cos inverse of cos 7 pi by 6. Okay. So sin inverse of minus x is minus sin inverse x. So I'll write this as minus of sin inverse root 3 by 2 plus cos inverse of cos 7 pi by 6 can be written as cos of pi plus pi by 6. Okay, so this value now will become minus of 60 degrees, because sin 60 is root 3 by 2, so minus pi by 3, plus cos inverse of cos of pi plus pi by 6 will be in third quadrant, so this value will be minus cos pi by 6. Okay, so minus pi by 3 plus pi minus cos inverse of cos pi by 6, because we know this property that cos inverse of minus x is pi minus cos inverse x. Okay. So now we will have the term pi minus pi by 3 and cos inverse of cos pi by 6. It is in the principal value branch 0 to pi close interval. So it will be theta only. Cos inverse of cos theta will open up in theta if theta is in close 0 to pi. Okay, this is also a property. So we will have pi minus pi by 2. So the final answer for this problem is pi by 2, which is option B. I hope it is clear. In this problem, we have to find the value of tan of cos inverse 4 by 5 plus tan inverse of 2 by 3. We have to use two formulae here. First is we have to convert cos inverse of 4 by 5 in terms of tan inverse. Okay, first is this thing, which is conversion. Second, we know the formula of that tan inverse x plus tan inverse y using conditions also. You need to have the condition that tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse of x plus y upon 1 minus xy, or pi is added like that. Okay, so first let's convert cos inverse 4 by 5. So let's consider it as theta. Cos theta is 4 by 5. So this side will be 3. The perpendicular side will be 3 using Pythagoras theorem. So we can write this term now as tan inverse of 3 by 4 plus tan inverse of 2 by 3. Now if you consider this as x and this as y, 3 by 4 as x and 2 by 3 as y. So x is positive, y is positive, and xy has a product 1 by 2 which is less than 1, and hence we can use the formula that tan inverse x plus y, that is 3 by 4 plus 2 by 3 upon 1 minus 3 by 4 into 2 by 3. Okay. Now you already know one more thing, that tan inverse t will be equal to t, because tan will always cancel tan inverse provided tan of tan inverse is t and t should belong to real numbers. Okay, so this will already, because tan of tan inverse will automatically cancel this thing, so we are left with 9 plus 8 divided by 12 minus 6, so we have 17 by 6 as our answer. So which option it is? It is option B. So the answer for this problem is option B. In this problem, we have to find the value of tan inverse x plus tan inverse 1 by x if x is negative. Okay, so tan inverse x is already simplified. We have to simplify tan inverse 1 by x. Tan inverse 1 by x can be written in terms of cot inverse x for x positive as well as x negative. Now we already know that tan inverse of 1 by x is equal to cot inverse x if x is positive. I have told you to remember these formulas through values. Okay, so suppose if I put x is equal to 1, we will have tan inverse PVB is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 open interval, and cot inverse x has PVB from 0 to pi open interval. So okay, for x positive, tan inverse 1 will be pi by 4, cot inverse 1 is also pi by 4. But for x negative, let's say we have put x as minus 1, so the left hand side will be our minus pi by 4, and if you take cot inverse x, this value is 3 pi by 4. Okay, so match left hand side and right hand side, you have to add multiple of pi, that is minus pi we have to add. Okay, so it will be minus pi plus 3 pi by 4, which will give us the value minus pi by 4. Okay, so we can now write tan inverse x. Tan inverse 1 by x can be written as cot inverse x minus pi for x negative. Okay, now we already know that tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is pi by 2. This is also a property. So the final answer for this problem will be minus pi by 2, which is option A. In this problem, we have to find the value of tan inverse 1 by 5 plus tan inverse 1 by 7 plus tan inverse 1 by 3 plus tan inverse 1 by 8. Now we know the formula of tan inverse x plus tan inverse y with certain conditions. So we'll just try to add any two terms, and let's add tan inverse 1 by 5 with tan inverse 1 by 7 and tan inverse 1 by 3 with tan inverse 1 by 8. You can make any pair, like you can add tan inverse 1 by 7 with the tan inverse 1 by 3 also, not a problem. Just let's try to solve this now. So tan inverse 1 by 5 plus tan inverse 1 by 7, because x is positive and y is positive and product of these two terms is less than 1, so we can directly apply the formula without adding pi into it. So you can just directly write tan inverse of 1 by 5 plus 1 by 7, 1 minus 1 by 5 into 1 by 7. So it is tan inverse of a plus b upon 1 minus ab. Okay, so now this term will become tan inverse of, if you take LCM, it will be 12, 7 plus 5, in the denominator it will be 35 minus 1, which is 34. So we will have a value of tan inverse of 6 by 17. Is this clear? Okay, now let's move on to the next term, which is tan inverse of 1 by 3 plus tan inverse of 1 by 8. Okay, so now we will have tan inverse of 1 by 3 plus 1 by 8 upon 1 minus 1 by 3 into 1 by 8. So once you simplify this term, you will have tan inverse of 11 divided by 24 minus 1, which is 23. Okay, so now we will have this value as tan inverse of 11 by 23, which is already simplified. Now we have to add these two terms because we have sum of all these terms. So I can now write it as tan inverse of 6 by 17 plus tan inverse of 11 by 23. Again, here you have to see that product of x and y should be less than 1. Okay, here if we see x is positive, y is positive, and product of xy is 6 by 17 into 11 by 23, which is already less than 1, and hence we can directly apply the formula tan inverse of 6 by 17 plus 11 by 23, okay, divided by 1 minus 6 by 17 into 11 by 23. Okay, so this is the direct formula which I have applied. Now let's take the LCM. So we will get tan inverse of 6 into 23 plus 17 into 11 divided by 17 into 23 minus 6 into 11. Okay, now if you see in the denominator and in the numerator, 23 and 11 terms are already present, 17 and 6 is also there. So can I write this term as 6 into 23 plus 17 into 11 divided by this 17 I can write it as 6 into 23. This 17 can be written as 17 into 23 can be written as 6 plus 11 into 23. Okay. So this will become 6 into 23 plus 11 into 23 minus 11 into 6. Okay. So now this term will become tan inverse of 6 into 23 plus 11 into 17 divided by 6 into 23. Now if you take 11 common out of these two terms, so you will be left with 11 into 17. So we need now to exactly multiply here. We easily got that the numerator as well as denominator both are same terms. So it will become tan inverse of 1, and hence the answer for this problem is pi by 4. So let's see which option it is. It is option D. Hence the answer for this problem is option D. In this problem, we have to find the value of sin inverse 12 by 13, cot inverse 4 by 3 plus tan inverse 63 by 16. Again, what we will do is, because this term is in tan inverse, so let's try to convert cot inverse as well as sin inverse and tan inverse. Okay, so sin inverse can be easily converted here. Let's say it is theta 12 by 13. So 12, 5 and 13 are Pythagoras triplet. So we can write sin inverse of 12 by 13 as tan inverse of 12 by 5. Is this clear? Okay. So it will be 12 by 5. Next term is we have cot inverse 4 by 3. It is already a positive term. So you can easily write cot inverse 4 by 3 as tan inverse of 3 by 4. Now let's try to add these two terms. So we will get tan inverse of 12 by 5 plus tan inverse of 3 by 4. Because I will add these two terms because the terms are quite smaller as compared to 63 and 16. Okay. So now if you see x is positive, always check the condition. That is very necessary. If you won't check it, you will be applying the wrong formula. Okay. So 12 by 5 is already positive. 3 by 4 is already positive. So x is positive, y is positive, and their product is 36 by 20, which is greater than 1. So in this case, it is already greater than 1. So what you will do is you will have to add pi into it. So you will be writing tan inverse 12 by 5 plus 3 by 4 divided by 1 minus 12 by 5 into 3 by 4. Okay. So finally, you will have now the term pi plus tan inverse of 12 fours are 48 plus 15 divided by it is 20 actually in the denominator. Here also it is 20. So 20 minus 36. Okay, is this clear? So now you will have the term pi plus tan inverse of minus 63 divided by 16. Now you have added these two terms. Now you have to add, in this term you have to add tan inverse of 63 by 16. Now these two terms will cancel with each other because tan inverse of minus x is minus tan inverse x, and finally we will have the answer as pi. Okay, till here I have solved this term, and we have to add in the end tan inverse 63 by 16 into it, which I have added, and finally we got pi as an answer. So the answer of this problem is option A. This problem we have to find the value of tan of half of cos inverse root 5 by 3. So let's consider half of cos inverse root 5 by 3 as theta. It means now we have to calculate the value of tan theta. Okay. So you can easily see that cos inverse of root 5 by 3 is equal to 2 theta. So now we will have a condition on 2 theta that 2 theta should lie between 0 to pi, because cos inverse has a principal value branch which gives its range from close 0 to pi. This is quite an important condition which will give us the range of theta, which will help us in finding the value of tan theta. Okay. So now we can say that cos inverse root 5 by 3 is 2 theta. This implies cos of 2 theta is root 5 by 3. Using this, we have to find the value of tan theta. Okay. So can I write this term now as 1 minus tan square theta upon 1 plus tan square theta is equal to root 5 by 3. Is this clear? Because cos 2 theta has a formula that 1 minus tan square theta upon 1 plus tan square theta is equal to cos 2 theta. This is a formula. So let's apply componendo and dividendo on this. Let's apply componendo and dividendo on this term. So we can write numerator plus denominator upon numerator minus denominator on a ratio on the left hand side as well as right hand side. We will have 1 minus tan square theta plus 1 plus tan square theta divided by 1 minus tan square theta minus 1 minus tan square theta. Okay, is this clear? Numerator plus denominator and numerator minus denominator. So numerator plus denominator and numerator minus denominator. So we will have now this term tan square theta and tan square theta will cancel out in numerator. You will have 2 divided by minus 2 tan square theta is equal to 3 plus root 5 divided by 3 minus root 5 if you take negative common. So this negative will cancel out with this term, 2 will cancel out with 2. So you will have tan square theta is equal to 3 minus root 5, 3 minus root 5 divided by 3 plus root 5. Now can I rationalize this term and write this term as 3 minus root 5 into 3 minus root 5, and in the denominator we will have 9 minus 5 which will give us 4. So we will have tan theta value is equal to plus minus 3 minus root 5 divided by 2. Now we already know that the 2 theta is from 0 to pi, it means theta is from 0 to pi by 2. So range of theta is from 0 to pi by 2. So tan theta will be in the first quadrant, and hence tan theta will be, because theta belongs to 0 to pi by 2, so theta is in first quadrant and tan theta will be positive. So the value of tan theta will be 3 minus root 5 by 2. So the answer of this problem is option B. I hope it is clear.